I can't imagine two better individuals to spend a very rapid 20 minutes with on this particular topic. I have to my left Justice Bellur from India. He was the former Supreme Court Justice of the Supreme Court of India, and he's also more recently chaired a committee on data protection on behalf of the government. So a very poignant view on matters related to data. And of course, to his left is the Central Bank Governor of Thailand, Veerathai. Great to see you again, and thank you for joining us. You have spent time in both the public sector and the private sector, and you've been navigating the economy of Thailand since October 2015 at the helm of the central bank during some very interesting macroeconomic times. So terrific to have you both here. We don't have a tremendous amount of time here, and we have a few interesting questions to go through, but I thought, given the fact that we're here for a fintech festival and that data and connectivity are fundamental ingredients to allowing an ecosystem to evolve, fintech ecosystem to evolve. Tell us a bit about the dynamics on the ground in India and Thailand. I mean, we'll start first from the perspective of India.
You're right. All trade requires exchange of money. In the good old days, you had exchange of cowries and stone bits and bargain on barter system. But today, money is the one that changes hands. And the quicker it changes hands, the better value it has. So connectivity is the basic proposition. Now, another question is data. Now, data also needs to be exchanged fast and super fast for several reasons. One is data allows you to analyze issue. AI is coming to the fore. With artificial intelligence, you can make quick decisions. You can determine the creditworthiness. You can determine how much progress an event has made, how much progress a contract has made. So data, connectivity, and if you have good data and good connectivity, it contributes to trade and the economy of any country. Now, as far as India is concerned, we have had several problems, but they're not insoluble or insurmountable. Things are on the way. Now, for example, bandwidth is an issue. If you don't have enough bandwidth, the telecom operators can't really guarantee you 100% connectivity. Now, if you don't have connectivity, with all the sophisticated technology at work, the call drops when you're in the process of transferring data. Therefore, data connectivity is of prime importance. Then even if you have connectivity, I must ensure that it doesn't get leaked out. There is no leakage of data. The privacy is the next issue. Now, a lot of machinery has been put into place. And I would only say it's still work in progress, but tremendous progress has already been made on this issue. So things are very much on the ascendancy.
Fantastic. Thank you for that overview.
Thank you very much, Matthew. On connectivity, I think we have seen significant changes in the Thai financial system over the past few years, particularly through the electronic payment connectivity. We launched the instant payment system, PromptPay, about 2.5 years ago, and that has dramatically changed the financial landscape in Thailand. And this is similar to Pay Now system here, where money can be transferred easily from one bank to another bank using mobile phone number or citizen ID number as a proxy. And our population of about 67 million people in Thailand, we have close to 50 million bank accounts linked to this system. It has changed the landscape in such a way that all electronic fund transfer fees have been totally eliminated in Thailand because of competition that this new PromptPay brings. And this is one of the few initiatives that we have done to improve financial connectivity. On data, as Justice Bellur said, this is going to be very important for financial system developments going forward. We launched a new Personal Data Privacy Act last year, and financial institutions have about a year to comply with the new act. We are also working on ways to promote data exchange across financial institutions, and I think we're making progress, but not as fast as in other jurisdictions, but I think this is going to have huge potential going forward.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So, curious, both markets are growing quite well. India has a growth rate around 6%, Thailand is around 3%, relatively young populations, attractive markets for multinationals to enter. How are you dealing with dynamics of supporting your core constituencies, which are the citizens of your countries, vis-a-vis international actors that want to participate in your markets? How are you balancing those tensions on the ground? Governor, maybe I start with
Well, this is a challenge, particularly for a small economy like Thailand. And this is related to issues about connectivity. We would like to welcome competitions. We would like to have more connectivity, but it has to be a high-quality connectivity, not any type of connectivity. What I mean by high-quality connectivity, one is to ensure that the financial system or the payment system do not become fragmented. There is a possibility when you have large players, particularly the big techs, coming into a market with their own standards, their own system. The whole financial system can easily become fragmented. And that's not good for anyone. Fragmentation should also be viewed from the perspective of financial flows and data flows, because data is going to be very important for financial sector going forward. So we have tried a lot in developing the like of common standards, common platforms, ensure that we have interoperability across different platforms for the banks and also non-bank service providers. So by making sure that by having new players, particularly the big players coming into the market, should not create fragmentation. The other two dimensions, if I may, we have the financial system, the network that has already been built over the years, and for financial transaction, network value is very important. So we would like to encourage very much cooperation between existing banks, existing financial service providers with the newcomers, and we have seen a lot of collaborations over the years. I think this is a way for newcomers with better technologies can add on value to the existing network that has been built. And thirdly, we want to ensure that it's an ongoing competition. We don't want dominant players to come in and basically become a first mover advantage, taking control of the system at the cost of future innovation or future competition.
Yes, economies of scale can have that type of monopolistic characteristic to it. In India, what is the dynamic with respect to competition, both fostering local competition, but also allowing for international players to engage?
On the platform of data transferability, there has been a lot of push and pull. The current public thinking appears to be that it is necessary to keep locally the data that is generated locally. If a foreign company comes and does business, it is subject to the jurisdiction of the country. So it's obliged to keep the data here. And that has been a point of controversy on which there is a lot of lobbying and pressure being built up. The flip side of the issue is that if I don't have my data here, and my data is sitting on a server somewhere 10,000 miles away, 15,000 miles away, how do I access it when I need it? And today, it is necessary to access them. For example, I want to find out if there is a terrorist financing going on. There is no way I can block it if I can't identify it. I can't identify it unless I have access to the data. That is going to be a big problem, and this data localization is something on which, although the committee which I headed stated that it should all be kept in India, preferably kept with wherever you want with a live copy in India. Exceptions, of course, are where the government wants to allow free movement of data. For example, somebody's health data needs to be immediately transferred to another foreign country for medical advice, or some emergency data needs to be. Those are exceptional circumstances which the authority, the data privacy authority will be able to take a call on. Rest of the time, there has been a view that it should be kept residing on a server within the country. Now, let's see how ultimately it's again work in process. So I can't say this is the last word, although I can say that this is what has been suggested, this is what has been indicated in the draft bill which my committee has submitted to the Government of India. Now, what Shakespeare said, wasted thou art afoot, take what course thou wilt.
Very good. I'm curious, in reading up on the expert committee on data protection that you participated in, I would be so curious to be, as we say in the United States, a fly on the wall and just hearing the deliberations that occurred there. Can you give us your key learning out of that experience, being the chairperson that oversaw that committee?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
With respect to the committee, the expert committee on data protection that you chaired, what was the key learning that you brought out of that experience?
Oh yeah, the experience is sometime just before I got married, I didn't know what the hell marriage was. But I got married and I've successfully been married for 50 years. So they say same experience here. I didn't know what data was, or didn't know what data protection was. I spent a couple of months studying the problem, and fortunately for me, I had a committee of experts, good research assistants. With their very help, I was able to get the grips of the matter. And then what we did basically was, we looked at GDPR, we looked at the South African law, we looked at the Estonian law, we looked at the Singapore model. We didn't borrow from any model. We just picked up ideas, and then we have made a system which we think suits our genius, we think suits our requirements. And it's a workable model. Let's see how it works.
Excellent. That's a great example of being on a learning curve. I do want to come back to the GDPR point in a moment, but before we do, I'd love to have, Governor, your sense of the collaboration with respect to connectivity, data, and trade as it relates to the ASEAN region and how Thailand is playing a role as a force within that group.
Yes, trade and investment linkages in ASEAN have been established for quite some time now. But financial services, being a service sector, most countries have a tendency to protect the service sector. But during the past few years, we have seen significant collaborations with respect to financial connectivity, which is lagging behind trade connectivity and investment connectivity in the region. I'll give you two examples. One way to address a very expensive and inefficient cross-border payments and transfer is to have some forms of interoperable standards within ASEAN. So the ASEAN Central Bank governors early on this year in April, we decided to develop not one ASEAN standards, but making sure that there will be national standards that are interoperable based on the same EMV core foundation. This is based on the national standards that was first developed in Thailand, a QR code for payments, and the same QR code for payment, a similar QR code for payment standards are being deployed across ASEAN. And we, looking around some of the exhibitions out there, we have seen many service providers already providing linkages across different standards. So I can come to Singapore using my mobile phone banking of a Thai bank, scan QR code SGQR in Singapore, and then money can be deducted directly from my bank account. So that's our collaborations on QR codes for payments. The other one is the instant payment systems. A few countries in ASEAN started the instant payment system. Pay Now here in Singapore, PromptPay in Thailand. Similar systems are emerging in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in Cambodia, in Philippines. So we're looking at different ways to link this instant payment system. In the case of Singapore and Thailand, we're working to have a link between the switches. So that all the banking in Thailand and in Singapore can be linked through the switch link. But for other countries that have different stages of development, it could be other models, like having a sponsor bank model, appointing one bank in a jurisdiction to serve as a sponsor bank, providing linkages. So these are some of the examples on collaborations on cross-border payments, which will serve a new foundations to even enhance productivity on our trade and investment linkages.
Very good. I want to come back to the point of GDPR. We have the Financial Stability Board, which serves a purpose of bringing together global regulators to discuss issues that are germane to supervision and regulation. There's not really an equivalent with respect to data standards. We have the European Union, which issued GDPR not that long ago, and that is, I think, the highest bar in terms of a region looking global data standards at this point in time. And in some ways, emerging markets have been price takers or data standard takers as a result of that dynamic. Can you give us an understanding, perspective on how you've contended with GDPR, how it influences the actors in your jurisdiction, and how you've tried to balance that equation quickly, because we're a little bit out of time already.
On this, look, my vision is that there is going to be more and more data transmitted with greater speed, increase in volume, and that is going to help the financial transactions. As it is in India, we have a number of payment systems and these apps which are being developed for easy transfer. The goal would be basically to ensure that the last person in the country is included. The inclusion is one of the biggest fallouts of this kind of technical innovations. Now, if inclusion happens, the economy improves. If the economy improves, every citizen is happy, and that should be the goal. We don't make regulations for regulators' purposes. We make it for the purpose of the citizen, to make it easier, make life easier for him. And of course, there is going to be a separate regulator as far as data is concerned. Data protection of data will be, there is what is envisaged as a data protection authority at each level of the entities, companies, and business entities. And there will be a data protection authority who is a central regulator. Now that regulator, Parliament can only give you a law which has skeleton. The fleshing has to be done by the regulations. Now that regulator will interact with all sectors of business. Now, health industry will have its own problems, the automobile industry has its own problems, the plastic industry has, chemical industry. Now, after a lot of give and take between the industry stakeholders and the regulator, there will be a code of practice evolved. That code of practice will be by common consent accepted and become the standard to be followed in that industry. Now, this is envisaged at the final last mile in the journey, but it's yet to take off.
Yes, yes. Well, in the interest of time, we'll have to wrap it up here. I think it's a fundamental point that beyond the technical aspects of these discussions, we are looking to help people, include them in the financial system, and ultimately these are all means to that end. And on that, I'd love to just thank you both for your time and your thoughts on these various dimensions, and thank the audience for sticking with us through the end of the afternoon.
Yeah.
Thank you.